Hey guys, looking forward to seeing you all later this week in Pinehurst, the home of American golf. I'm super excited that Memorial Cup will be there this year. I think this will be the third time we've had Memorial Cup either at Pinehurst or Pine Needles, Mid Pines. So third time to take our guys there. My family had the pleasure and privilege of being there many years for the U.S. Kids World Championship. I've got relatives that live in Charlotte, and sometimes I find my way over to Pinehurst. So I've probably been there 30 or 40 times. It's one of my favorite places on earth. And I'm going to use part of this presentation here, this video, to give you some tips and things to think about so you can soak in all that there is to see there in town. So let's get started. I want to remind you about the hub, the tournament hub. This is where all of the information is located that you will need: itinerary, logistic stuff, golf tournament stuff. I've added some buttons here, guys, since I sent out the link last week. So go back, check it out. I've changed the scoring a little bit, which I'll talk about here in this video, but make sure you know where the hub is located. Stepbystepgolf.org. It's up on the menu bar. Bookmark it, save it, whatever. This is your home for all of the information. All right, let's talk about Thursday. Thursday check-in. We are staying at the Talamore Condos. I'm going to show you a map later on in this video, but we're staying at the Talamore Condos. The address and all the information is located on the hub under the logistics section. Check it out. They are telling me that they'll send me the check-in codes at 3 p.m. Now, I'm going to be making the turn on number 2 that afternoon at about 3 o'clock, maybe just before the turn. So I'm not going to be watching my phone. I have asked them either to give us the codes early, or if I can give them all of your numbers so they can text you guys the codes directly if you may be in town that afternoon. They are holding firm so far on 3 p.m. So plan on that. If I hear something different, I'll let you know. But somehow, some way, we will get the codes to you for your condos at 3 o'clock, by 3 o'clock that afternoon. Rooming assignments are listed on the hub. It's on the itinerary document if you want to check that out. And that's lots of information there about the location of the condos, check-in processes, and all that good stuff. That night, we will meet for dinner and our first fellowship gathering. The hope is that we can meet at a restaurant called The Deuce, which is at the main Pinehurst Clubhouse. It overlooks the 18th green of course number 2. Really cool location right by the pro shop. Great place to be for our first night there. Kind of a casual sports bar kind of restaurant. They don't take reservations from those of us that are staying off property, which we are. And so hopefully they'll let us walk in and have dinner, and we'll either have our fellowship there at the restaurant, maybe out on the porch of the clubhouse, or we may find our ways back to the condos and just have it there. So be a little bit flexible. Thursday night, again, the 4 of us that are playing number 2 should be coming off the 18th green there around 6 o'clock ish, kind of in that area. So if you want to plan to be at the main clubhouse, there's lots to do. I'll tell you more here later in this video, but lots to do if you want to get there early before 7 o'clock. And then once we all get gathered up, we'll find our way into the Deuce and have dinner and then our fellowship after that. Okay, Friday morning. Let's talk about Friday. I did not know this until recently, but breakfast will be delivered to our condos. This is part of our package. Between 6:30 and 7 Friday morning, they will deliver breakfast to our condos. So feel free to partake in that if you wish. But that is a nice little added feature. The morning round on Friday will be at Mid Pines. Again, when I get to the map here, I'll show you where that's located. Very, very close, about less than a 5-minute drive from our condos to Mid Pines. The afternoon round will be back at Pinehurst, the main clubhouse, course number 1. It's about a 10-minute drive from Mid Pines to the main clubhouse, maybe less than 10 minutes. But it is going to be a very tight turnaround. We're going to have to go straight from Mid Pines to the Pinehurst clubhouse. We'll figure out lunch along the way. Since I'm not playing in the tournament, I will either have lunch ready for you guys when you come off Mid Pines, or we'll figure something out so that you have food before you tee off at the afternoon round at Pinehurst. Dinner that night is kind of to be determined. We don't have any reservations since we have a 3 o'clock round. Once we come off the golf course that evening, we can figure out what we want to do. There's only 9 of us total, so we'll figure that out Friday night. Saturday, Again, breakfast delivered that morning between 6:30 and 7, so be on the lookout for that. The morning round Saturday is actually at Talamore, the golf course, which is at where the condos are. So just a short walk or a little short drive just around the corner there, where we are staying that Saturday morning. And then again, a quick turnaround. We're scheduled again for the Saturday afternoon round back at course number 1. By the way, my understanding is next weekend is the Pinehurst Club Championship. And so it's going to be busy around the main clubhouse, which is why they had to book us on course number 1 both afternoons. I'm hoping that when we get there and when we get checked in, that maybe we can have them move us from course number 1, one of the days, maybe even to the Cradle, which is a little short 9-hole course. That would give us a little bit of relief one afternoon after so much golf. But right now we are booked on course number 1, the original course. It's a short course, but it's a really cool little course right there at the main clubhouse. And that is the plans right now for both Friday and Saturday afternoon. Again, that night dinner will be to be determined, depending on what time we come off the golf course and where you guys want to go. Sunday morning, we've moved breakfast a little bit later because the tea time Sunday are a little bit later. So breakfast will be delivered to the condos between 7 and 7:30 that morning. We will have fellowship gathering that morning in my condo. And as you guys know, that's always part of Memorial Cup. And so we'll start off our Sunday morning with fellowship time together. And then we'll be driving down to Pine Needles, again, about a 5-minute drive away. Phenomenal, phenomenal golf course. Pine Needles and Mid Pines tied in together. They're across the street from each other. And so those will be 2 of the most special rounds and 2 of the best golf courses you've probably ever played. They are fantastic golf courses. Be sure to be checked out of the condo when you leave for golf Sunday morning. And I mentioned formats and scoring. I mentioned that I changed the scoring just a little bit. Let's talk about that. Okay, on Friday morning, round 1 at Mid Pines, we're playing a shamble. The shamble is where you and your partner both tee off. You choose the drive that you like, and you both play your own ball from there. And if one of you makes a 4 and one of you makes a 5, then your team score is the 4. That's the shamble. Not a total shamble. We're not adding them together. That's later. But it's the best score between you and your partner. You do get to pick the drive that you like. And you are playing an 18-hole match worth 1 point. In parentheses, you see 2. Here's what that means. It means there's 2 matches going on, each worth 1 point. Since we have 8 players, we have 2 matches. And so there's a total of 2 points available Friday morning. That afternoon, when we get to Pinehurst number 1, we're playing a total shamble. So very similar. You and your partner tee off, choose the best ball, the ball that you like. You both play in from there. But then at the end of the hole, you add your scores together. So if one of you makes a 4, one of you makes a 5, you take a team score of 9, and that would be your team score for the hole. And again, 1 point available for each match. 18-hole match, 1 point available. So again, 2 matches, 2 points available. On Saturday, you're going to see that the points double. So Saturday morning on Talamore is probably will be your least favorite course, probably that we play. And so we're going to play the modified alternate shot round at Talamore. 2 points per match, so there's a total of 4 points available that morning. When we go back to Pinehurst number 1 that afternoon, we're going to play a scramble. Since you've pretty much played your own ball already the day before on course number 1, we're going to play a scramble. Now that you know the course, you can kind of be aggressive and have fun in a scramble. Again, 2 points per match, 4 points total available that afternoon. Now here's where I've made the changes. Sunday morning at Pine Needles, you're going to play best ball for the first 9 holes. So it's just your own ball, you and your partner, best ball. If you make a 4 and your partner makes a 5, you take the 4, but you're not sharing drives or anything. You're playing your own ball from tee to green, best ball. That is the front 9, and that is going to be worth 4 points per match. So there's 8 points available on the front 9. 2 groups, remember, 8 golfers. And so 4 points for each of those 9-hole matches. When we get to hole number 10, we are switching to singles. And so what's going to happen is in the the first 9, it'll be 2 versus 2. And you go to number 10 and it's 1 versus 1 and 2 versus 2. And then in the second match, it's 3 versus 3 and 4 versus 4. And so you're playing head up, man to man, singles for the last 9 holes. And every hole is worth a point. So that means there's 4 matches taking place, 9 points available in each match. So there's 36 points available for the back 9 on Sunday. This means the Memorial Cup will be decided on the back 9 on Sunday because that's when the points are available. Most of the points are available. Also, if we determine that we need to handicap it in order to even out the teams, if after the first day or so we need to handicap it, this gives us a chance to include handicaps on the last 9 to make it as fair as possible. So it should lead to a lot of drama. It should lead to the Memorial Cup being decided late on Sunday, and we can use strokes if needed. This means total points available, 56, which means that it takes 28.5 points to win the cup. First team to 28.5 wins the cup. Okay, a couple of miscellaneous things. Please know the itinerary, the formats, your tee assignments. This is the best way you can help me. Please do not come to the first tee at Mid Pines on Friday morning and ask me what format or what tee markers. It's all been posted. Please, 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 the more you can check that out and know in advance, the better. Keep in mind pace of play. Again, we only have 8 golfers, so it's not that we have a gigantic group, but there will be public play in front of us and behind us. The best thing to know about pace of play is your marking point, your sort of your what you got to be looking for is the group in front of you, not the group behind you. The group in front of you. You've got to keep up with the group in front of you. Most people think, well, there's, the people behind us aren't pressing us, so we must be fine. Nope, it's the group in front. You got to stay within a half a hole of those guys. So please keep in mind pace and also golf etiquette. Rake the bunkers, repair your divots, your pitch marks. When you walk through the Pinehurst clubhouse, take your hat off. Let's act like we got some sense. We're going to the home of American golf, so be aware of etiquette, and let's do our part when it comes to that. Hey, remember, lunches and dinners were not included in the total package price that you guys paid in. It was golf and lodging only, and so even though I hope we end up having lunches and dinners all together, but remember that was not included in the package, and so let's just figure out, maybe easier to all pay on the same ticket for lunches and dinners rather than 9 separate tickets. If so, let's keep that in mind. I want to make sure that the Thrive Foundation, that we're just watching our expenses carefully. And so if we all go in on the same ticket, let's just be aware of that. Hey, soak it in too. I mentioned earlier, there's so many things to take in and to think about while you guys are in town. Let me mention a few of those. I want to kind of get you fired up by a few things here that I want you to know about. Here's a map. Here's a map showing the Pinehurst and the adjacent town is called Southern Pines. It's actually where Mid Pines and Pine Needles, but it's only about 2 to 3 miles. And there's about 12 to 15 golf courses kind of within this 2 to 3 mile stretch. And what you see, if I can kind of use my mouse here, if you can see it on the screen, this is Highway 2. Highway 2 goes from the little village of Pinehurst, which is right here, through this little traffic circle. And along this road right here, Highway 2 is where all the golf courses are located. And you'll see here in just a moment, Mid Pines and Pine Needles are about right in here. So that's the stretch of area we're talking about, just 2 to 3 miles. Really, really cool. Lots of cool things to know kind of located in this area. First of all, here is the Pinehurst Resort. What you need to know about the main clubhouse, this is where courses 1 to 5 play out of. So when you're there, there's just golf holes everywhere you look. This is where the Deuce is located, the restaurant that I mentioned that overlooks the 18th green of course number 2. The Cradle is the little 9-hole course right out in front of the clubhouse, and there's also an 18-hole putting course called Thistledew. I want you to read about that, check out the signs, do a little internet research if you can. But those are both fairly new within the last 10 years. Those are things that have been added. as part of the Gil Hands updates and transitions that they've done kind of in the last 10 to 15 years there. So check out the Cradle and check out Thistledew. Thistledew is free. The putting course is free. You guys can go out there and putt all you want. The Cradle, I think it's a $50 green fee. And like I said earlier, hopefully we can get one of the afternoon rounds moved over to the Cradle. Also, the village of Pinehurst, the village is kind of the area where restaurants and shops. The Carolina Hotel, phenomenal, like 5-star hotel right there in the village. And then there's also the Pinecrest Inn, which is not tied into the resort, but it is where Payne Stewart stayed when he was an amateur back in the late 70s and 80s. I think he stayed there in 99 when he won the US Open. He signed the bathroom wall in the men's room. It's now under plexiglass. You can check out his signature. There's a fireplace in the lobby there, and there's a 5-iron. You go get the 5-iron and chip into the fireplace. It's just one of those traditions of being in the little village there. So lots of cool things. Make notes of those, soak it in, go check out the village if you can. Hopefully you're arriving early on Thursday and we'll have time to check out some of that stuff. If you drive down Highway 2, this is about where Talamore is. So again, a couple of miles down from the main Pinehurst Clubhouse. This is where our condos are located. And again, the Saturday morning golf right there at Talamore. And then just on down the street, Highway 2 there is where Mid Pines and Pine Needles are located. So again, all of that within about 3 miles, and kind of gives you a visual of where everything is located. Last thing, let's not forget, this is a fellowship event also. We are challenging ourselves as part of this golf event to come together, 9 guys here coming together to focus on what God has in store for us, what He will speak to us about, what He will teach us while we're together. I want to give you a couple of scripture references to either pray about or read if you would take the time this week. Read Colossians 3 and read Acts chapter 2. This would be the pre-reading that will go hand in hand with the Thursday night fellowship and the Sunday morning fellowship. So let's not forget the reason we are there, and to prepare our minds and our hearts for God to speak to us. And then also our foundation, I mentioned earlier, the Thrive Foundation. Check out our website. We've just revised and made some updates to our site. This ministry, since many of you maybe have participated last time, has really grown a lot and changed a lot. Our focus has really come into the picture as to what Leslie and I do through the Thrive Foundation. And should you have the desire to help us through your gifts, your prayers, obviously by participating in this tournament, you're certainly helping as well, and hopefully we'll be blessed during your time with us this weekend. So check out our site, learn about what we would do. We love your support and your prayers for sure. Next up, last thing you need to know, Thursday, we will see you there. Information coming, remember that afternoon, the codes for the condo check-in, and then we will gather between 6 and 7 o'clock Thursday night at the main clubhouse with hopes of having dinner and fellowship there at the Deuce. Have a great week. Hit some balls, practice up, pray, get your mind and your heart ready, and let's anticipate what God is going to do through this event. Thank you guys. See you soon.